Krishna is giving one very important principle of lust. This is an answer to Arjuna's question. Arjuna's question was, even though I don't want to do wrong things, but I'm forced to do wrong things unwillingly, what is the reason behind it? And Krishna is answering Arjuna's question. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. It is Kama, because of lust, the force within us called lust. It engages us in all kinds of sinful activities, forbidden activities. And Krishna says it is Mahashana, it is all devouring. All devouring means it is extremely dangerous. It can finish us off. Devouring, the word devour is used like the fire devoured everything. When you put things into fire, the fire devours it. Means later you will not even see the trace of it. So whoever has lust in the heart, the lust devours all the good qualities. So that is why Mahashanaha, Ashanaha. Ashana means devour, eat. Mahashana means it devours everything. And Mahapapa, as we already know, there are many varieties of papa, sinful reactions. And lust, kama, is Mahapapa. It is not just sinful, it is the greatest sinful. And then Krishna says, Iha Vairinam. It is Vairi. It is your enemy. Enemy, everybody should know. Enemy means how to bring the enemy under the control. How to defeat enemy. How to eradicate enemy. Nobody takes enemies lightly. If you come to know that there are some enemies at the border of our country, and if you are not doing anything, then everybody becomes angry at the government. What is this? Government is not doing. There is an enemy attack. Enemy means we have to eradicate. We have to kill those enemies. We have to bring the enemies under the control. So Krishna is saying kama. The lust is such that, number one, it is Mahashana. It is all devouring. It will finish you off. It is greatest sin. And it is your enemy. We cannot neglect it. We have to do something about it. So this is a most important and relevant topic in today's society, because we keep reading in daily news that how there are varieties of sexual offenses that people are committing in the society. We see that there are cases of rape, and there are gang rapes, and there are some rapes committed against minor children. Sometimes the father sexually assaulting his own daughters. All varieties of news we keep reading. So this verse from Bhagavad Gita tells us why all this is happening. And the day by day, as we think that civilization is advancing technologically in a scientific manner, side by side, we are degrading in terms of our spiritual and moral values. Technologically, we are advancing. Today, we are doing what we were not doing 25 years back. About many years back, people used to travel on foot, and they would use some horse or some bullock carts for their travel. And it used to take many, many days and months to reach their destination. Today, by flight, you can reach Delhi, Mumbai, or far off places in few hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, like that. So we have made tremendous, humongous advancement when it comes to technology, when it comes to comforts and facilities of human life. But what about our spiritual upliftment? So in terms of spiritual advancement and upliftment, we are not advancing, but we are actually degrading. And the reason for that is karma. We do not have, number one, any education about what is karma. Number two, how to deal with this karma. Number three, how do we eradicate this karma? There is no education at all. So today we will try to understand. So what is this lust, or in Sanskrit called karma? This can be understood from multiple perspectives. First and foremost is, it is the desire to enjoy what you are not entitled for. It is a desire to enjoy something which you are not entitled for. You are not the owner of it, but you are trying to enjoy that. It is called lust or karma. Secondly, it is the desire to enjoy something beyond your capacity. First thing is, it is not entitled for you and you are trying to enjoy. Secondly, okay, you may be entitled, maybe you are the owner of it, but you are trying to enjoy beyond your jurisdiction or beyond your capacity. For example, you made gulab jamuns. You made some 100 gulab jamuns. So you have made it. So you are the owner of all the 100 gulab jamuns. So now you are trying to eat all 100 gulab jamuns. So what will happen? You will have severe health issues, stomach related issues, right? So that means you are trying to enjoy beyond your capacity. That is also called karma. First one is, you see some gulab jamun in the shop. They are kept in the shop. So you have not paid for it. You have not become the owner of it by paying. And you are just trying to enjoy that. So that is also not allowed. That is also karma, lust. Trying to enjoy what you are not entitled for. Trying to enjoy beyond your capacity even though you are entitled. And thirdly, trying to enjoy beyond the permissible limit of dharma. One is the permissible limit of your mind and body. Another one is permissible limit of dharma, the spiritual principles meant for our upliftment. Just because my mind and body is capable of enjoyment, so I can enjoy? No. That is why in the marriage ceremony, you make promise. When Kanya Dana happens, when the father, he gives his daughter in charity to a man, he is supposed to make promise. And what is that? Dharmecha, arthecha, kamecha, nati charami. He makes this promise. Man makes this promise to the father-in-law. What is that? I will not use your daughter. You are giving me a charity. You are giving me your daughter in charity, right? So I will not use your charity, whatever you are giving to me, beyond the principles of dharma. Whatever dharma boundary is there, within that boundary only I will engage with your daughter. Dharmecha, arthecha, kamecha, na aticharami. I will not cross the boundary of dharma and use your daughter. This is the promise that person is supposed to make. Otherwise, it becomes kama. Kama means it is sinful. Greatest enemy. Iha vairinam. Right? And at last, the most important thing that defines what is kama, trying to enjoy, seek pleasure beyond the enjoyment of or without or independent of the Lord's enjoyment. You are trying to enjoy something which is independent of Lord's enjoyment. And that is the highest karma. So let us summarize all the 4 karmas. Trying to enjoy something which you are not entitled for. Trying to enjoy something beyond your capacity even though you are entitled. trying to enjoy something beyond the boundaries of dharma, trying to enjoy independent of Lord's enjoyment. All these things constitute something called kama or lust. And acharyas and the scripture elaborately explain how this is such a dangerous mentality. This kama is so dangerous that first of all, there are 8 levels of sin. 8 levels. What are those 8 levels? Kshudra papa, papa, kshudra pataka, upapataka, pataka, mahapataka, atipataka, sumaha atipataka. These are the 8 levels of sin. And the Shastras and Acharyas describe lust is the root cause of all 8 levels of sin. When somebody is doing any sinful activity, when you analyze what is the root cause, how this person is doing this sinful activity, the foundation of that papa, the sin, will be the karma. And for every sin, every level of the sin, there is a different type of punishment. Today, people think, oh, here is a rape. Okay, now what is the punishment for the rape? In different country, there is a different type of punishment. In some country, they kill the person. In some country, they just jail him, depending on whether he is a minor, is an adult, and based on the evidences and so many things, they convict the person and give some punishment. Sometimes some people escape punishment because there are no evidences available. Sometimes the crime is being compromised and all those things. And many times people have lost faith that the government or the judiciary system is even giving any justice to the victims like that. Whether our government, our judiciary system is able to convict or it is able to punish or not, there are laws of nature. Karmana daivanetrena jantur dehopapatyaye. Karmana daivanetrena. Evidence you require. Why do I require evidence in the judiciary system? Because I have not seen the crime. Most of the people have not seen the crime. So we need the evidence to prove that you did the mistake. But for God, you don't have to give any evidence. Why is that we don't have to give any evidence? What is the answer? Because the Lord is sitting in the heart and he is called Sakshi. Evidence in Sanskrit is called Sakshi. What is the Sakshi meaning? Akshi. Akshi means eyes. Sa Akshi means there is, along with you seeing, there is one more person seeing. That is the meaning of Saha Akshi. Saha means along with. Akshi means seeing. Like we say, Jalaja Aksha. Aksha means eyes. Akshi means seeing with the eyes. Sakshi means apart from you, who else saw it? Apart from the culprit, apart from the accused, who else saw it? Is there anyone else? And that is called evidence. Like you say, yes, I was there at that spot when the crime was committed. So I am the witness. What do you mean by evidence or witness? Apart from the accused, one more person is ready to give testimony. One more person. So, according to the Dharma Shastra, who is the primary witness? The Lord in our heart himself is the primary witness. Karmana daivanetrena. All our activities are continuously being witnessed by the Lord sitting in our heart, and he requires no evidence because he himself is the evidence. He himself is the witness. So, in the eyes of the Lord, whether somebody is being punished by the law of the land or in this government, the laws of the nature have their own punishment. Now, somebody may be educated about this law, somebody may not be educated, somebody may be serious, may not be serious, it just doesn't matter. Like, you may say, oh, I don't know, if I keep my hands in the fire, it will burn me. It is law of nature. The nature already has decided that if you keep your hand in the fire, your hands will burn. This is a law. For the action called keeping hand in the fire, there is a reaction called your hand will be burnt. Now you may be ignorant of this, like child doesn't know, keeps the hand in the fire and gets hand burnt. It doesn't matter. It is your responsibility to get educated, or people around you should caution you, should protect you. The laws are already set. They are going to act. Or even if you are aware and you may say, I don't care, or you may say, I don't believe. All these philosophies don't work. For karma, there is punishment. And what is a punishment? Let us understand, because the amount of ignorance that exists today and the amount of karma that is being promoted by cinema industry, by social media, by internet is simply mind-blowing. We can just be amazed at their ignorance and their foolishness. So as we discussed, there are 8 levels of papa. Kshudra papa means preliminary sin, preliminary offense, minor offense. And what is that? It is said that paradara smarana kshudra papa samgnyutam. If you simply think of other women, that is kshudra papa. Simply thinking. You are not supposed to think of any woman. Of course, for man it is woman, for woman it is man. Simply thinking, you are not thinking bad about that woman. You are simply thinking. Itself is a sinful activity. Paradara smarana kshudra papam samgnyutam. Because sinful activities are categorized at 3 levels. What are those? Manasa, vachasa, kaya. Mental, verbal, and physical. The offenses, the seriousness of the offenses are categorized at 3 levels. Thought level, words level, and action level. So the first kshudra papa is thinking of other women. What do you mean by other women? That according to dharma, that woman is not assigned to you, or that man is not assigned to you. Dharma has to assign to you. If dharma means the religious principles in the vivaha yagna, in the marriage ceremony, in an authorized way, that is not assigned to you and you are thinking of that. It is a papa. In present day judiciary system, what you are thinking in your mind, there is no punishment for that. You cannot go and file a case in the court and say that this person is thinking something wrong in his mind. So the present judiciary system all around the world is incapable of convicting people for the offenses that we do at our mental level. Because they cannot prove it. They cannot establish it. But the Lord who is sitting in our heart, He knows at all levels what is the sin that we are committing. The inability of this world's judiciary system is it cannot hold you accountable for what you think in your mind. But the capability of the Lord's laws of nature, they can catch you, they can hold you accountable for all the levels. So thinking of other women is kshudra papa. Unnecessarily people will be thinking of other women. So that is a papa. They should know there will be a reaction, there will be a punishment for that. And talking about other women unnecessarily, it is not required. It is not required, right? Now it is not Kshudra Papa, it is Papa. Now you have gone one level up, because now it has come at the level of words. So you are speaking. Unnecessarily you are speaking. Look at the dress of that woman, or look at the dress of this man. Something. What did she do? Where she went? What is our business? Why should somebody discuss about other man or woman who is not connected to them? So then it is Papa. And then it is very nicely explained. Paradara Drishe Prokta Kshudrapatakam Samnyutam. The next level. Kshudra Papa over. Now it is Kshudra Pataka, the third degree of sin. Just like when when fire burns you, when you go to hospital, they say first degree, second degree, third degree, fourth degree burn. More the higher the degree, the burn is deeper. How much we can repair it is very difficult to say, right? So now the third degree of papa or sin is called Kshudra Pataka. Paradara Drishe Prokta. Now you are seeing at other women with a sexual desire, or a woman is seeing other man with sexual desire. Paradara Drishe. Drishe means seeing with a sexual desire. These road Romeos, Eve teasers, they'll simply be standing on the roads, and they'll be standing some outside the college or somewhere else, wherever it is, and they'll be standing and staring at people. Staring with lusty desire, staring with sexual desire. Right? Earlier, this kind of offenders, Eve teasers or road Romeos, were there only on the roads. Now, on social media, there are innumerable such people. They'll be simply keeping their Instagram and whatever it is, and they'll be staring at so many photos with sexual desire. Oh, look at this woman, so beautiful. Oh, look at this man, so beautiful. Look at this bodily feature, so beautiful. Paradara Drishe Prokta Kshudra Pataka Samnyutam. Drishe. You are seeing with this sex desire, it is Kshudra Pataka. You come at now action level. Right? And now what is the punishment for this? Because for every sin there is a punishment. Sahasra Varasha Narakam Kshudra Pataka Phalam. Simply looking at a woman with a sexual desire, looking at other man with sexual desire, just looking with a sexual desire, 1,000 years you have to suffer in hell. Just look at this. You're not done anything still. You're just looking at other man or woman with sexual desire. The laws of nature. You may accept, you may not accept. You may believe, you may not believe. This is the law. When it happens, you will come to know. What is that? Sahasra Varsha Narakam Kshudra Pataka Phalam. 1,000 years you have to suffer in the hell. This is the result of third degree sin. There are total 8 levels. The third degree itself is so serious. Just look at this. How much today's civilization is degraded and so fallen. Literally everyone is in the queue to hell, at least for 1,000 years. Because they think, most of the people think, it is very harmless. They think it is harmless. What am I doing? I'm just keeping some Instagram, in my hand, and I'm keep on looking at some people and, some things we are doing. Just look at this. And these movies, Hollywood, Bollywood, Tollywood, Kollywood, whichever movies, they they promote as if it is all some harmless and it's good to do activity. So they introduce something called some item song, and they bring some woman, and in a very lusty manner that woman or a man will dance, and there will be some people around that, and they will all be, and if you see the lyrics of those songs, it will all be very clear, verbal level sexual offense it is. They will be talking how and what they want to do with that woman in a very obscene manner. And they are called some item songs. And generally, whichever movie has some item songs, that movie will become super hit in Kali Yuga. Because unless you promote some sex, some karma, people are not going to take you seriously. That is a degradation of this society. And what is the result of that? You are not only seeing, you are also talking in a sexual manner. Sahasra Varsha Narakam Kshudra Pataka Phalam. At least 1000 years. Whoever watches these Bollywood item songs, at least 1000 years hell they have to suffer for watching these Bollywood item songs. Just look at this. They are totally ignorant and unaware of this. And there was one couple, married couple. So the husband is telling the wife, hey, look at that girl, you see how beautiful she is. Look at her bodily features. The husband is telling the wife. And the wife is also, yeah, like this. So when the wife was asked, Are your husband is talking like this, you don't have any issues? She's saying it is harmless, no? What is there in this? He's just harmlessly seeing that woman. If he actually goes behind that woman, I'll have a problem. See the foolishness of this woman. She has no Dharma Shastra understanding. She's thinking it is harmless. And a woman is also telling to her husband that look at that man. He's so good. Look at his body. Look at his 6 abs. Look at this. Look at that. And husband is also, he's also. He also thinks it is all harmless. What is the problem simply looking at somebody's picture, looking at them? If you are looking at any man or woman with a sexual intention, for that sexual intention, Shastra says, Sahasra Varsha Narakam Kshudra Pataka Phalam. 1000 years you have to suffer in hell. See why we are discussing this? Because there is no such education today available. And people are thinking it is okay to do. See, those who after getting educated, they do, there is a second category. At least there may be some innocent people, if we educate them, they know, Acha, there is some consequences like this. I didn't know this. I thought it is all harmless. So, Shastra talk about all these sexual offenses. And then, one is thinking of woman, other one is talking about woman. You are not talking sexually about that woman, but even talking. The third one is Kshudra Pataka, seeing the woman with the sexual desire, seeing the man with the sexual desire. The fourth one is, it is now not only thinking, not only just talking, not only you're seeing, now you physically attack that person. Physically approach that person. You know, when that man or woman is walking, mostly women, when they're walking, you go and, try to touch them. Like we see that in some crowded place, people take advantage, they molest them, they try to hold and all these things. What is the reaction for this? What is the punishment for all these people who molest and try to commit this kind of physical level things? There are 2 things. Now the next, it's the 4th level of the sin. It is Upapataka. And what is Upapataka? Upapataka says very serious. What is that? Upapataka daschapi narakam yugamatrakam. The punishment for physically attacking the woman now. Whether you have done anything or not, now you are trying to physically touch and do all these things, molest and all these things to a man or a woman. Upapataka daschapi narakam yugamatrakam. If you do this kind of a sexual offense, that means trying to molest, trying to touch with a sexual intention, right? If you do that in Kali Yuga, you have to suffer in hell for 4,32,000 years. Yuga Matraka. Yuga Matraka. In whichever yuga you do this, the duration of that yuga, you have to suffer in hell. You look at the man or woman with the sexual desire, 1,000 years. If you try to touch that man or woman with the sexual intention, try to abuse that, for that one yuga, whichever yuga you have performed. If you have done this offense in Kali Yuga, 4,32,000 years. In Dwapar Yuga, you try to do this, 8,64,000 years. In Treta Yuga, you do this, then it is around 13 lakh years you have to suffer in the hell. Just look at this, how Shastras are so serious about dealing with karma. They are not saying it is harmless, it is okay, you can do this, and you promote this in the movie also. It is all nonsense. It is very serious. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Vairinam, it is your greatest enemy. You have to be aware how it is your greatest enemy, and you should know what all punishment is available for that. Upapataka daschapi yuga matrakam. Yuga matraka. Matra means quantity. And what is the quantity of the suffering in hell? It is equivalent of one yuga. Whichever yuga you do, that yuga you have to, that long you have to suffer in hell. And then, in case, if you go ahead next level, Kshudra Papa, Kshudra Pataka, Upapataka. We have discussed 4 levels. Next is Pataka. Pataka means trying to, physically attack a woman who is more qualified than you in terms of spiritual advancement, in terms of consciousness, in terms of their, social, their existence. Bhinna Varna, we call it as. And what is the punishment for that? It is just, trying to attack them, molest them and all these things. It is said that you will have to suffer Chaturyugavasanantu phalam mahat. What is the punishment? Chaturyuga. 43.2 lakh years you have to suffer in hell. See, this is apart from what your country is going to give you punishment. If you are convicted, if you escape, if you evade the law, or if you get even punishment, whatever, how many? 16 years, 15 years, they'll put you into jail and send you out. But the laws of nature are not going to leave you so easily. It's not easy. Kama, Krishna is saying, Mahapapma, Mahavairinam. It is your greatest enemy and you must know how to deal with it. And what is that? If you try to physically commit any sexual offense to a woman who is more qualified than you, then the punishment is Chaturyugavasanantu Mahat. Chaturyuga, 4 yuga, if you calculate, the duration is around 43.2 lakhs of years you have to suffer in the hell. This is Pataka, the 5th degree of sinful activity when it comes to Kama. See how serious it is going, more and more if you go. No rapist, no molester, none of these people are spared. It's very serious, right? And what is the next level of Papa, right? Next is now Kshudra Papa, Kshudra Pataka, Upapataka, Pataka is over. Next 6th level is Mahapataka. What is Mahapataka? Mahapataka samyantu pitrader dara darshanam. This is very serious now. What is that? If you look at your mother sister, your aunt, of that category people with a sexual desire, then it is considered and categorized under Mahapataka. It's a 6th degree of Kama, 6th degree of sin. Look at the nonsense today in the internet. They promote videos as incest. Incest means having sexual affair with your family members, like having sexual relationship with mother. It's very common. Recently, I was speaking to somebody who came from US. So he was telling that his mother from India visited him in US. So he took his mother for visiting, showing her some places nearby and all that. So when they were there, when they were clicking some photos and all that, sometimes, you give your phone to someone else and ask them to click photo of you. So he was taking some photos with his mother. So people were commenting, oh, you look so young and cute. Your partner is a little old, like that. So their seeing they are not even seeing that she could be mother. So their seeing is you are having some affair with this old woman. Look at these civilizations. The civilizations which think and promote this kind of sexual activity. Mahapataka samgnyantu. You must know what is Mahapataka. What is that? Pitrader dara darshanam. If you see your sister, your mother, your aunt, and those who are connected to you as sisters like mothers at that category of relationship, that is categorized as Mahapataka. And this pornography is full of this kind of videos. Varieties of such videos talking about all this kind of, and they think this is one kind of enjoyment. And what to speak of this? When nowadays people speak some illicit words, they call it as gali in Hindi. And when they speak this kind of words, and that all comes under Mahapataka. Comes under Mahapataka. 6th level, 6th degree of Kama, or 6th level of sin it is. Mahapataka janyantu kalpavadi samaritam. Kalpavadi. What is the punishment for that? One kalpa. And what is kalpa? Kalpa means Brahma's one day. Brahma's one day means 1000 Satya Yuga, 1000 Treta Yuga, 1000 Dwapar Yuga, 1000 Kali Yuga. All put together, it comes 432 crore years in hell. Just see this. How Vedic culture is so serious about educating people to deal with kama, lust. Mahapataka samnyantu pitrader dara darshanam. Looking at your sister, looking at your mother, looking at your aunt, or looking at any of these, respectable women who are in respectable position in relationship, they deserve your respect. And if you look at them with a sexual intention, you have to suffer in hell. Not just like suffer. You will be given one man or woman form made up of iron. And that iron will be red hot iron. And you have to embrace that red hot iron form of a man or woman. And you have to hold like that for 432 crores of years. In this country or some different country, you do some mistake, some 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, you'll be out. But you will not be out in the eyes of the Lord. 432 crores of years you have to suffer in hell. This is Mahapataka. And then what is above Mahapataka? Sumahapataka. 7th stage of that. And what is that? Dara drishti swottamana manushyanam swabhavataha is Sumahapataka. Looking at women with a sexual desire. And who are those women? Rishi Patnis. Those who are into practicing dharma, who have dedicated their life for dharma, spiritual life, those who have taking spiritual life seriously in their life, living a saint life, sage, practicing life of a dharma like sages. And if you look at them with sexual desire, if you try to attack them, molest them, rape them, or even think about it, forget about even touching. Shastra says, Dara Drishti Swattamanam Swattama Swa Uttama. These are Uttama Stris. If you try to have an affair with them or do any sexual offense with them, then you have to suffer, which is equivalent of Brahma's 100 years. Not your 100 years. Brahma's 100 years. Brahma's one day has 432 crores of years. One day. Like that, Brahma's 1 year, 432 crore years into 365 and into 100. And that comes to 43.2 thousand crore years of hell experience you have to go through. Just see this, how serious it is. And people are thinking it is harmless. I'm just looking at some woman photo, man's photo on Instagram. I'm just watching some musically very pleasing item song. Recently one movie became very super duper hit in India, abroad, China, everywhere. Simply because of one item song. And one woman, in a lusty manner, they're making that woman come and dance and, in a very bad way, behave. And people are thinking it is very good. If it is invoking karma in the heart, or man or woman, doesn't matter. If it is invoking lust in your heart, for that you have to pay price. You have to suffer in the hell. And Rishidareshu manaso gatirva tatodhita Devadarshabika kamanam sangi sangas tatodhika. You know what is the highest stage of kama? The last, the 8th stage of this? Anybody who has sexual desire about Rishipatni, Devatastri, they're all supposed to be spiritually evolved women. And somebody is planning some, desires in their mind. Desiring that woman you keep aside. That is above even 8th stage. Somebody who is supporting such a person. Sangi Sangha. Sangi Sangha. Sangha means associating. Associating with a person who has a sexual desire about a woman who is in a respectable position spiritually. If you associate with such a person, you are directly committing the 8th stage of sin. Can you imagine the power of the danger of associating with such people? Deva darabhika kamanam sangi stangas tathodika. Sangi sangaha. Nowadays, there are so many people on internet, on media. They say, oh, Ravana is a good person. Duryodhana is a good person. Do they even know what kind of sin, papa they are getting simply by supporting such people? Sangi sangaha. Simply by supporting such a person, taking his side, speaking in a respectable manner of all this kind of offenders. They're all offenders. This Ravana was trying to enjoy Mother Sita. Right? And Duryodhana, Dushyasana, all these people, they were trying to sexually enjoy Draupadi by removing her clothes. They want to see her without clothes. This is their desire. And supporting them. Oh, Duryodhana was good person. Ravana was a Mahagnani. Ravana knows more than Ram. This is all such nonsense. Even speaking such words which are in favor of Ravan, Duryodhana and all these offenders is directly going to give you the 8th stage of sin. And what is the result of that? The result is that for many Brahma Kalpas, you have to suffer, and there is no remedy for such things. You have to andhatamas. For most probably forever you will rot in the hell. See how today people are not even aware. Those who promote this kind of movies, which has vulgar songs in the name of beauty. And there are parents, they encourage their small kids to dance for this kind of vulgar songs and dress them in a vulgar manner. Any activity which is going to provoke karma. See, both the people are punished. Those who provoke karma and those who indulge in karma. Simply you cannot blame, I will dress however I want, you control yourself. See, the law of nature doesn't work like that. Everybody is held accountable. Those who provoke, those who are provoked. Yes, if you provoke, you will be punished. And when someone is provoking, you are supposed to control yourself. That is your responsibility. It is a fact. You have to control yourself. But if you don't control and if you get lost and you indulge in it, you will also be punished. You will be punished more than the person who provokes. But those who provoke and those who get provoked, both will be punished. Both should be responsible. Both should be held accountable, because karma is iha vairinam. Everyone is accountable. Just see what is happening in our society today. People are thinking, I can watch some man and woman on Instagram, it is harmless. We can speak about women, it is harmless. Paradara drishe, simply seeing other women with sexual desire, sahasra varsha narakam, Kshudra Pataka Phalam. Simply for seeing 1000 years of hellish punishment. Right? In Ramayana, we hear one story. How seriously this kind of people are dealt with. Ikshvaku Maharaj had one of the sons called Danda. Danda was one of the sons of Ikshvaku Maharaj in the Raghukula dynasty. And he was given the territory from Vindhya Parvata. Like today what you see that Maharashtra, the Narmada rivers, this side towards the south, that is called Dravida Desha, or it is called Dandakaranya. All the place below that. So he was a king of that. And that is why it is called Dandakaranya, because he was ruling that place. And his guru was Shukracharya. Who was his guru? Shukracharya. Shukracharya was guiding him in all the aspects. So once this Danda, the king Danda, came to visit his guru Shukracharya in his place, in his ashram. And when he came there, Shukracharya was not in the house. He had gone out. At that time, Shukracharya's daughter was there. Shukracharya had one daughter called Arajasa. Arajasa means minor girl. She had not even come to puberty. She was a very minor girl. So she was there, and this king Danda, by seeing her, he became lusty. And he thought, I am a king, I am a man, I am a powerful man, I have power in my hand. So he told all his soldiers to take away all the people in the ashram so that they won't come in between his offense and attack that Rishi Kumari, or the daughter of Shukracharya. And then, so he went and approached her. I want to enjoy you. See, first of all, he was looking at that woman with lusty desire. Already is not only it is minor, it is very, very sinful. What is that? Rishidaresha manaso gatir eva tatodhika. Having sexual thoughts about Rishi Patni, Rishi Kumaris is so dangerous that for 100 years of Brahma you have to suffer. Right? And this person now is going and approaching her. And she told him that, you see, because of your relationship with my father, you're like my brother. So you cannot have this relationship with me. Mahapataka samnyutam pitrader dara darshanam means trying to have any relationship, sexual relationship with somebody like sister, mother is already Mahapataka. On top of that, she is a Rishi Kumari, and that is already, it is Sumahapataka, and he is not bothered. Why? Krishna says, lust makes you blind. Lust covers your intelligence, and that's what happened with this Danda. And then he actually raped that girl. And then he left her and went off. And when Father Shukracharya comes and she tells everything, and Shukracharya understands the severity of this sin, and he curses that Danda that in 7 days of time there will be rain, there will be storm of big rocks and boulders in his kingdom, and everything will be destroyed, everything will become totally ruined, and it is going to become an unusable, uninhabitable place. And that is the result. As a result of Shukracharya's punishment, Danda was punished very severely. He was ostracized from his kingdom. He was stripped of his power and position, and his entire kingdom was ruined. Immediately there was a rain of big rocks, and everybody died. Whole kingdom was destroyed, and it became forest. And that is how it became Dandakaranya. It became Dandakaranya, and who started living there? All Rakshasas came and were living there. All these Ravana's associates and followers, they were living in Dandakaranya. And the Dandakaranya became habitable place, inhabitable place, where it became living place when Lord Sri Ram came to that place. Dandakavana Pavana Rama. Because of his lotus feet touch, the Dandakavana, this land became unusable, untouchable, because one person committed sexual offense in this place. The entire land was abandoned. This is the seriousness that Vedic scripture deal with, this lust and the sexual offenses. So today we see in our society, there are gang rapes, there are rapes, and there are rapes inside the family, and all sorts of things are happening. How serious it is. Krishna is openly saying it is your greatest enemy, it is your vairi. You have to control. And how do we control? How does it all start with? It actually starts with a small desire in our mind. Everything which starts with Kshudra. Kshudra means what? Very small. And when it is small, you think, oh, it is so small. It's so what? I'm just talking to my friend. I'm just thinking in my mind. I'm just, it is all small. It is harmless. Nothing is harmless. And what does Shastra say? How do you deal with it? Shastra says, Tasmat. Therefore, how should you deal with it? Agnivanna bihi kamaha. Agni. You have to deal with this kama like the way you deal with Agni. Fire. How do you deal with fire? Very careful. Very carefully. If it is a small fire, it is small spark, leave it. Nobody leaves it small spark. The small spark, if it is not extinguished, it can devour everything. It can create forest fire. There's no remedy once it becomes a forest fire. So in the beginning itself, it has to be curbed. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. This kama should be curbed in the beginning itself. Don't allow this to grow it. Kamayesha krodayesha rajoguna samudbhavaha mahashana mahapapma vidhi enam ihavairinam. Hey Arjuna, you have to deal with this karma in the beginning itself. And that's the Vedic civilization. Vedic civilization, it educates the person from the day one. Your education starts with Brahmacharya training. Brahmacharya training means a person who has learned, who has been trained how to deal with his karma. If he is not trained in this, how to deal with his karma, he is simply going to commit innumerable sexual offenses. He may be so-called educated in the universities, but when it comes to spiritual brahmacharya, he is uneducated. Because he is uneducated, he doesn't know. He will think looking at a woman on Instagram, it is okay, but that will step by step takes you to next level, higher and higher karma. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangasteshu upajayate. Sangat sanjayate kama. How does karma comes? Dhyayato, simply thinking of it. Simply thinking of it is going to create kshudra kama, the kama for kshudra papa, kama for kshudra papa, kama for kshudra pataka, then the kama for upapataka, kama for pataka, kama for mahapataka, the kama of sumahapataka and kama of ati sumahapataka. So we cannot ignore this karma. We have to deal with this. When in the beginning itself, we have to train ourselves, our mind, our children, everybody. Nobody should encourage. It is okay to watch some Bollywood item song. It is okay to see some pornography. After all, I am not harming anyone. I am simply sitting and doing it for myself. All these things are going to take you to next level karma. No person becomes a rapist all of a sudden overnight. It is, if you go and study, you will see how, you will see step by step, go back, you will see it all started with a minor sexual offenses. There are many videos, or many such studies and researches are being done to prove this point. So we have to be careful and serious. And only solution to all this karma, how do we clean this from our heart? It is very strong, it is very powerful. Krishna gives solution. What is that? Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava maha davagni nirvapanam. This kamagni, which burns like the forest fire in our heart, can only be extinguished by what? By chanting the names of Lord Shri Krishna. Cheto darpana marjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam shreyak kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam anandambudhi vardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna sankirtanam. It is only by doing Shri Krishna sankirtana, chanting the names of Shri Krishna, hearing the names of Shri Krishna with attention, and discussing about Krishna, yannama shravana matrena, nama shravana, hearing holy names with rapt attention, the karma in our heart can be extinguished. There is no remedy, there is no medicine for this disease called karma in our heart. The only remedy is Krishna Sankirtana. Shri Krishna Sankirtana is such a big remedy, panacea for all the problems. So we have to promote this Shri Krishna Sankirtana. Srimad Bhagavatam says, what is that? That simply by hearing Shravanam, if you hear the Shravanam, our Vidyante Sarva Grantischa Chidyante Sarva Samshayaha. Simply by listening to Krishna Katha, hearing Krishna holy names, our heart becomes clean. So what is the solution? How do we control karma? By Krishna Nama Smarana. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. Krishna says, you think of me. You think of me and you do your duty. So thinking of the holy name of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna, Narayana Smarana, Krishna Smarana is the only remedy to deal with this karma. There is no remedy. This karma can never be come under control. Like forest fire, there is no remedy. You cannot take some 10 syntax water and put, it will not extinguish because it is too big fire. So the same thing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, the Agni which is burning in our heart is Davagni. Davagni means forest fire. So we all have to seriously take chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Participate in chanting in Brahma Muhurta, in good time when our mind is good. While chanting, we have to chant attentively, we have to chant seriously, we have to chant carefully, we have to chant with love and devotion, because we know this is so important to deal with the karma in my heart. Otherwise, thousands and lakhs and crores of years we have to suffer in hell. Whether government recognizes this, whether government is able to convict you, judiciary system or not, the laws of nature are going to convict us. So this is how serious this karma is with us. So we'll finish with this. Grantara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.